to WeBear Bros, our mentors. Guys, the drafts are set for Game 7. In the 7 long years, we have witnessed legends, titans come out on top. But this game will determine who will be immortalized and raise the Immortal Cup. It's a battle between S13, S14 champions. Battle between M4, M6 champions. Battle between the Golden Goat and the Young Goat. This is the Grand Finals. Game 7 underway.
To Mobile Legends.
You got it all riding on, and once again, it's us, the WeBear Bros, to bring you Game 7, the last one of S15. Who will raise that Immortal Cup?
Pop quiz, this is our first collective best of 7 that we share as a desk. Quick action in mid, Super Prince already at half health, Sanji as well. Quick peek at the emblems.
Okay, nothing too crazy, except for Super Prince's Abyssal Arrows constantly landing in the center of the map. Time itself holds its breath for this moment in history. For those who achieve immortality, dare not be afraid of the passing of the ages. Can the timeless legacy of Carl Tlph be immortalized by being the first to win the Immortal Cup and winning his 4th MPL trophy? Or will Onic continue the destiny they've been writing as the gods of the game since December?
This is the first time we've seen Gatot in quite a while.
Yeah, he's been kind of missing, you know, for this series anyway. And it could end up being quite the pick, especially depending on Super Prince. Like, you guys saw his smile in the draft.
Yeah.
Like, this was clearly, a choice between him and, of course, the coaching staff behind him to go ahead and lock this in with confidence. We know that, oh, Brusco charging on in.
An arrow to go with it. JP backing out, flickering through. Tempest Ablaze by King Kong. Another false engage. An arrow by Super Prince. Like Kung Fu Masters. These two just keep going.
Clutch flick, clutch battle spell, and Super Prince showing why he's been deemed the monster mage on this Selena, keeping Team Liquid Philippines at bay. They are uncomfortable with their rotations in the center of the map because of all the Abyssal Arrows.
It's really frightening if you've been against a Selena in your own, matches. The amount of reach, technically, that she has to cause an effect here. Here's a diversion, though. Top side.
Double laning that the Liquid have done. Brusco here, very low. Got that grab on him. Sanji just wailing away. Kirk goes down. Carl Tlph goes first blood. Oheb takes down Brusco. Look at King Kong coming through. Taking down Carl Tlph. Tempest of Blades out. 2 for 1 the exchange. Super Prince still dashing around. The shortcut still active. Oheb says, does not get to get out of there. Gets hit by Super Prince's arrow.
Okay, he backs off. Oheb was in trouble. But ultimately, it leads down to some extra gold in the hands of Kelra, and this turtle's still up.
Super Prince delaying that means Kelra had all the time in the world to farm up even more. Oheb has a kill, but that Harith is scaling, and they have to watch out for it. So Team Liquid Philippines, let's see how they're going to play the next sequence, knowing that the Abyssal Arrow is something they really need to deal with.
Here we go, turtles up. It's for the taking. TL's in position, but there's no
range. King Kong secures. Not a response from Liquid. What are they planning?
Liquid decide to give it up. They didn't want to take the risk. Kelra in lane, winning against Oheb so far.
This has been, sometimes I wish we had another camera where we could just watch the gold lane. Because these two when they're playing, they're always going at it. They're always trading. And there's always a moment where, one of them goes down or not. But ultimately, they've tested the limits between each other in that gold lane, and that's what we love to see.
Difficult thing also playing up against a Gatot Kacha as a chip lineup is that the taunt of the Gatot works similarly to how we saw the Kufra gave headaches to JP earlier. The Tyrant's Rage, Revenge, the bouncing balls even. So, as always now, JP really needs to be on point. King Kong in the mid, sees Sanji. Items no clear advantages just yet, still very close in the gold.
Okay, bringing it down to it again. Kind of a little bit of a breather here after everything we've seen. And we got to remember throughout the series how it's been relatively longer games. Aside, each team getting their own kind of dominating game throughout this. And both these lineups can actually provide the potential to scale up really quickly, get momentum. But the thing is as good as Onic Philippines has been doing, kind of managing this early portion of the game, the amount of utility throughout the entire game, the mid and late especially, that the lineup that Tlph has, could actually be troublesome for Onic Philippines. So I want to see how they're going to go ahead and play against that. I mean, we're talking about a Chip and a Louis Yi.
But at 5 minutes, Joseph, you got to wonder, maybe too much is too much, right? What do you do with the fact that you can fold the map and then do it again? Really, there's not much output from OHIB yet or Tlph. They do spot Kirk, force him out of that brush, and then they just do it again. They jockey for position. Turtle spawning in about 5.
Center of the map, Sanji blown up. Super Friends took a lot of damage as well, though. Gold lane left relatively undisturbed. If Liquid lose this big time, it will be massive, considering they're up against a Harith. So this might be the play. Send Chip with the Granger. So if Liquid lose this, they can instantly shortcut down to the bottom lane.
You can see what's happening here. Yeah, you're playing around the Chip right now. They're going to put pressure here on the bottom side. Kelra knows it. But Conceal's going to be used from JP. Are they going to go?
Flickers in with the shortcut. The Summon Force drop. Kelra goes in, dashes through, gets taken out by Sanji. And they split out. The diversion to the exit. A feint. King Kong and Super Friends unbothered. OHIB pushes. The Turtle here started up by Onic. JP can spot him. But how do they get back in?
Liquid looks very good for them. All the Onic, though, in full control still. Tlph cannot get close enough.
Could be 100% Turtles here for Onic. That seems to be the case, as it's only Sanford looking for a grab. Dashing through and around the remaining members of the Super Fam. Grabs one, the AOG, the answer by Brusco. Sanford, let's go. Kirk very low. Zaman forced by Kelra. Tempest ablaze at the back line. King Kong going in.
Arrow! The arrow's going to land on OHIB, and OHIB have to flicker out. The fight's still going to be able to break out, and Tlph looking for the damage here.
Mr. 2K finds the Filipino Savage. OHIB, down goes Brusco. Kirk as well. Double kill for Kiel 1.
OHIB and Tlph coming up big time. The Monster Mage almost dashed the hopes of Liquid there, but Liquid held on. The man who they'll name awards after one day is hell-bent on adding immortality to his own.
Damn straight. There's already a world champion named after him.
Oh man, it's just in a matter of that exchange, you get a nice lead for Tlph. They can now build on this. Yes, they lost the Turtles, the objectives at first, but that shows that their fighting prowess is playing around that utility, is playing around punishing Onic Philippines if they're not able to take care of who they need to. And right now, a lot of the times, that's Kelra. He's got to be able to stay alive and farm up on this Harith.
And slowly but surely, I think I see the mad genius behind Coach RC's draft, behind Liquid's plans here. They want to rope-a-dope, not just in team fights, but across the map.
Takes 10 damn hours to fly to Riyadh from the Philippines. If you can shorten travel time within the Land of Dawn in the best of 7 grand finals, you take that. They're already thinking about the flight. We want to rotate the map, we do it quicker.
They've been there too.
If only we had portals in real life, you know?
I wish.
And shortcuts that we could just drop down.
We'd still end up in the economy version though.
Hey, I'll take that over just actually traveling. But going back to the game right now, it's still nothing too devastating for Onic Philippines. It's a 2,000 gold deficit. The Lord is coming up. They have somewhat control. I mean, at least they got the one turret down on the top side.
Blitz.
But it's Tlph just blitzing the Lord here. It's holding at half health.
Oh, their only hope is if King Kong dashes in, looking for that angle. Tlph with the retribution. Down goes Brusco. It's looking ugly for Onic. They know that that's the truth of the situation. They back off.
King Kong was blocked by JP. The overtime and the crash course by the Chip stopped him from being in retribution range. Remember the fact hanging over Onic's heads, JP has never lost to Onic Philippines in the grand finals of MPLPH.
To add to that, Tlph, Liquid as a whole is leading in Lord takes, Lord control through the roof, and now they're gonna steal away King Kong's purple.
They're taking everything here. Just in what I thought wasn't too bad of a situation for Onic Philippines based off everything that Lord and everything they're taking in the jungle. Onic Philippines is going to find themselves with their backs against the wall at this point, under the 10-minute mark already. And we've seen this earlier in the series. They're going to have to go ahead and buckle in and get ready to just buy time here. This Lord is making its way. They're going to have to deal with it.
Yeah.
King Kong took some of that damage. The shield's going to pop and clear out the Lord here, but they're going to lose some of the tier 2 turrets.
Carl actually forced the Tempest of Blades out. Oh, entry by Brusco!
Through an arrow, AOG clocked in. Down goes Brusco. A grab from Sanford. Goes off of cooldown in just a wee bit. Another holy defense pop.
Costly play by Team Liquid. This means that they have a chance of actually starting to break inhibitor turrets. The window is starting to close for the gods of the game as the cavalry is inching ever closer to climbing Olympus and reclaiming what was once theirs.
Tlph, 2 shields down of Onic Philippines' base, just eyes them out just outside of the walls. They've got not much else to take except maybe that shield up top, but they might just have to reset. Again, Tlph knowing they have to take the discipline route. As stampede as they can be, they still have to respect what Onic Philippines can do, but look at the disparity in the items here.
Okay, only up to a Thunderbelt Dreadnought armor for that Gauntlet Kacha. Not a lot of magic defense items for Onic, and that's a problem because the low Yi is one of the main damage sources that Team Liquid has. Same goes for the little bit of magic damage dealt by a chip. They have some Radiant armors to answer that, but King Kong, will he get his purple buff?
Got it.
Secured.
Threaded the needle. That was very difficult. The rest of Onic was just ready to collapse it if ever something went wrong.
That's 24 seconds gone for the Retribution, though. Team Liquid should know the timer, but I think it will be back, yes. By the time the objectives are up. Lord, okay, Berserker's Fury, Haskell's Endless Battle for the Ling, 3 core items also for Carl TC's Hayabusa. King Kong spotted out, but not in trouble.
Hate to say it, there's 2,000 gold between Oheb and Kelra.
It was that play in the early game, man.
Yeah.
It put Kelra behind.
It's a mid-game snowball.
Yeah.
Oheb is so damn rich.
He's got so much money right now. Lord is up. Carl Teaser will go ahead and start this up. Onic Philippines, they might have to pull something out of the bag here to make this work. An arrow's going to land, but you don't follow it up just yet. Now under half health. They still calculate this out here.
40, protected starboard. They jump in on it. Kirk bites it. Lord, at about half health, an arrow misses its mark. Sanford clearing the fence brush, clearing the Y brush, and Onic call it quits. They don't want none of this.
Yeah, nothing they can do about that, even with Kirk down. Tlph, massive lead ahead. They'll get prepped and ready to march towards the base and possibly end it here against Onic Philippines.
The Granger low Yi burst, way too much. The wave clear for Onic, difficult to pull off. 7,000 in the gold. King Kong steals a buff away from Carl TZ. No purple for the Hayabusa, but they have the Lords, they have the minions, and they have the lead. Will they have immortality at the end of this siege?
It's a big push for them. Full force for Onic Philippines. The arrow is going to be thrown out. There's a conceal, though, coming in for the base here.
JP setting it up. Look at the angle
Brusco.
by Brusco, charging up that taunt right in the middle. Smackdown on Liquid. Down goes Oheb. King Kong finds him. Tempest of Blaze up into the skies. The diversion. The exit. Down goes Sanji. Liquid forced to back off. That was not how they saw it coming. King Kong gets shadow kill on him. Instead it's on Prince. He flickers out another AOG. They want to take out Brusco. Not enough firepower between the remaining members of Liquid.
They stay calm, they stay collected, and Onic Philippines will stay in the game.
Brusco had an MVP performance earlier, and he just pulled off an MVP save. He got Oheb in the taunt. We talked about the unbreakable. Perfect target by the Bruiser and a perfect follow-up by King Kong. Liquid, though, are still definitely in the lead and in the game, but Onic are beginning to see the light of hope beyond the clouds.
Half a second of that trunch, half a second of the diversion could have saved Sanji, could have saved Liquid from much more pain, but this does shrink their gold lead and cutting it in half.
Holy Crystal built already for Kelra. Roam boots blessings all around for both Onic and Liquid so that their lowest gold earner can catch up in the EXP and the gold. Right now, it's both roamers for both sides.
Onic Philippines bought themselves the time that they needed, but the question is, was it enough, or do they still need more? The fight for the purple buff for now, and Tlph on this side of the jungle. They know they still have a lead. They gotta calculate this though too. Carl Teasy will go ahead and get in there. King Kong wants the purple buff to set things up for the next objective, but he'll get it. King Kong's fine.
No dice. It's 40 versus the world. I think if Sanford just stepped in maybe an inch forth, maybe 2 or 3 units, that would have been a little more awkward. He could have caught the arrow instead, but I think Liquid just want to play the safe, play it clean.
We're at this point where Onic is within reach and Liquid now has to be so darn careful with everything they have to do now. Kirk can only do so much, but the little bit of control in the burst coming in from the hill that might become a difference maker. Again, especially if they could get either the Low Yi or the Granger, get one or the other down, and Onic increases their chances of lifting up the Immortal Cup. Liquid, they have to play the best dance, the best game they've played in a while if they want to end this before the 20-minute mark.
This is so tough. Again, a lot of this relying on Kirk. Kirk can't get caught out here and taken down or dragged out. Brusco popping the conceal again. Little unbreakable charge, but it's just Stanford that they spot out. They'll go for a reset for now. Not the ideal angle for either team just yet.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I think Liquid heard the conceal play and just dispersed and looked for another entry.
You have 2 ways to potentially end it if you're Liquid. Lord brute force or do it again. A portal. Can they?
I'm not sure if they can here. Again, look at this. Look at the placements for JP. Under half health.
And there you go, retribution by Mr. 2K. Tempest of Blades knocks up Sanford. Kelra takes him down. It's a man out for the Cavalry. JP catches an arrow, but still, the surgical approach. Liquid gets a diversion in. The off angle. Onic, they anticipated this AOG just to make sure Brusco can close the gap.
They knew they couldn't risk it. JP will have his shortcut available to bring Sanford back faster into the game. Minion waves crashing in. Enhanced they are. 16 minutes in Liquid. This looks good for them to end. But can they avoid another Onic clapback?
Carl Teasy almost forced to respond there. The Lord is inside the base.
He counters and choke almost gone!
Carl Teasy finds him, shadow kill. Kirk follows up, and that's just 3 members left for the Super Fam. King Kong doing his darndest to clear the waves. The Lord gets taken down. Cavalry, Super Fam, we're about to witness a new age in MLBB. Brusco goes down, Tempest of Blades in disguise, but it's too late. The Cavalry reclaim the throne, stampeding through. Stallions, now immortals.
Team Liquid Philippines will get the job done in Game 7.
Changed the name, but the spark always remained. Their aura never waned. Their legacy will now echo as Team Liquid are immortal!